Hi everyone! For anyone who is new to my spaces, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, wherever it is that you find me today, my name is Karen. I would say I'm a jack of many trades and a master of a few. At this moment, I've been focusing on being a theater producer, but one of my favorite things to do is to cook and bake, and I call that Karen's Cook and Bake Therapy. Growing up, I always wanted to have a nickname, so I've been debating between Karen and my nickname Kiki. We're going to decide which one, but for now, this is Karen's Cook and Bake Therapy, where we will learn together how to bake and make easy pastries and dishes, and yeah, we'll just be happy and excited cooking and baking together. So welcome to Karen's Cook and Bake Therapy. So I'm excited to be a mom, an auntie, and anything to do with kids. And in the lockdown season, one of the things I was doing was cook and bake classes online for kids. I did not even know that I could teach kids, but for some reason, all these kids kept saying, "Oh, Miss Karen is our favorite teacher." And it was such an exciting season in my life. I'm going to be teaching you guys, okay? You're going to join me. You're not kids, but in every one of us, there is a child inside. Today, we're going to be making rock buns. Rock buns are really fast to make, and many times when I forget that I'm supposed to have a pastry for the kids to take to school, this is what I run to and make very quickly. Sometimes it's on those mornings, like this morning when I woke up and it was 6 a.m. already, yet I was supposed to wake up at 5. So mornings like that, I have to do something really quick in case I forgot, or nights when I check and realize I don't have something to pack for the kids. So we're going to dive right into it. This is a quick one. What you need is your measuring cups. It's important that we have our measuring cups and measuring spoons. These are very easy to find and they're usually not that expensive. And then we are going to have our sugar. Over here we have our flour, we have margarine, we have some raisins for those who like flavor. We also have some cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, vanilla, and some of these things are really optional, especially the flavors. And then we have our baking powder and our salt, eggs, and our powdered milk. You can use any type of milk, really. So let's dive right into it, okay? So we're going to, first of all, create our own self-raising flour. And how do we do that? By creating a certain mix. This mix has flour, so we need 2 cups of flour. Let's just measure those out real quick. Yeah. It's important that you either pour into the measuring cup, but not dip the cup in and use that to measure. So we have our 2 cups of flour that we are measuring right here. That was the first one. And then this is the second cup. So you want to make sure that it's leveled, okay? So those are our 2 cups of flour. We are done with that. And now we're going to add our baking powder. So for our baking powder, we need 3 teaspoons. This is my teaspoon, so we need 3 of these. With everything we measure, it's important to make sure that it's leveled, okay? 2 and 3. And then we will add salt. Let me just put that aside. We'll add salt. For salt, we are going in with half a teaspoon of salt. Oh, these jars can be tricky at times. Yeah, but we managed to get that. So I need my half a teaspoon of salt. So this is my half teaspoon. Yeah. Like I said, it's important that everything is leveled. So we've done that with the salt. So we want to mix that up. So we use our whisk, mix that up a bit. This is actually a recipe for self-raising flour. If you get any recipe online that says self-raising flour, this is exactly what you do to make it. You can make your own self-raising flour at home. So we are good with that. We've mixed it up. And now we're going to go in with our spices. So the spices are actually optional, and the rock buns really taste nice even without spices. But I'm a spicy, kind of girl. I was going to say spice girl. I'm not a spice girl. Who remembers the Spice Girls? I'm trying to remember a song, but it's not coming to me. So we go in with half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then we will do 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Nutmeg is really strong, so you don't want to put too much of that. I need my 1/4 teaspoon, that one. So we'll go in with some nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And then we will do another, let's see. Yeah, I think we'll still do 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. It shouldn't be too much flavor, just a little bit. And we are good with those. Oh, I got those wrong. I'm looking out for some spice jars. I don't know where to get them in Uganda. They're those little ones that come with the little labels. I'm looking for them. If anyone has a plug, please share. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. And we're going to mix that again. Quick. I usually do this at night or early in the morning. So after we are done with that, we are now going to go in with some sugar. So for sugar, we want to do slightly below 1/2 cup, yeah? Not an actual 1/2 cup. So this is a 1/2 cup. So we don't want to do an actual 1/2 cup. We want to go in with slightly less. I think I need a spoon, just a moment. So it's slightly less than 1/2 cup. And sometimes it's easier to measure some of these with tablespoons. If you do a full 1/2 cup, the sugar will be a bit much. So those are like 4 tablespoons, yeah? So again, we put that in, and you can use anything to do this mixing. It doesn't have to be a whisk. I also have a spoon. If that's what you have at home, you can go in with this. Just to make sure everything is well mixed. So we are done with that. And now we are going to go in with our margarine. I could decide to use a whisk or one of these spatula-like things, but the truth is many of us here in Uganda actually use our hands to do this mixing. So let's not pretend about it. All we have to do is make sure that we wash our hands. I love to have my nails done, and so someone would go like, you have long nails. Let's just make sure they're clean, okay? So now we're going to go in with our margarine. So the recipe for this one usually says 78 grams, or I think 82. So this is 250 grams. I usually split it in half to make 125 grams. Then I split it a quarter because this is 62 grams. We need about 82 grams, right? So what we are going to do is get a corner of that. So the corner is 62 grams. I'm going to get a corner of that, which is 62 grams, and then we'll divide the 62 grams of this side into 3 to 21 or 20 something, and we'll get a bit of that. So I usually do this all the time, so it's something that just comes naturally to me, but with time you can figure it out. That's why it's important when you're buying margarine to buy the smaller options, not the big ones, because with the big ones measuring becomes an issue. Growing up, my mom taught me to bake, and we used to use a weighing scale even for margarine, but now, well, the world has evolved. We can use other options. So we are good with that. Remember, I washed my hands, so I'm going to go right in with that. But before I do that, I've realized that we need to prep our wet ingredients so that when we are done with that mixing, we don't have to come back to that. So let's do that. Let's prepare. So we've put in our 82 grams of margarine. Yeah. Let's remove the spoon. And we need some milk. We need 1/2 cup of milk, which we're going to make from our powdered milk. So you can put in about two spoons, maybe teaspoons or so of milk and some water. And then we'll mix that up to create our half cup of milk. If you have milk, most people have milk lying around somewhere, so you can just use the regular cow milk. I like to use this powdered milk because I'm not a fan of milk, so I rarely have milk around. And the kids are also very picky. So yeah, so this is our milk, it's ready. We'll just put it here. Just put that in the sink. And then we have our egg. We need 1 egg. So we have our egg here. The regular way to really, I don't know, there are so many methods you can use to crack an egg, but that's mine. So we have our egg, and we could whisk it or we'll just use a fork. I want this baking to be very simple for you. Nothing like you have to go buy a whisk, look for all this and the other. No, you can just use whatever you have at home. So our egg is ready. So like I said, we have our egg here and we have our half cup of milk. Put that in the sink, and we're going in with our clean hands. So here what you're looking to do is to make sure that the margarine is mixed in here until it's all like breadcrumbs, yeah? So that's what we're doing. And it's exciting because it's really, really quick. So we're trying to make it like breadcrumbs. For those who love raisins at this point, you can add them. If you do not like raisins, you do not need to add them. But if you like raisins, then you get to add them at this point. I should have cut my raisins open before, but it's okay. Let me figure it out. I have my kitchen scissors here. So with the raisins, there's no particular measurement. For me, I just put in the amount that I can hear my mom say stop. So and I love raisins. I used to actually eat these as a snack. So I think for this, about a handful should be enough. There shouldn't be too many. And we're good with that. Yeah. The mixture is so cute, right? We're almost done. What this usually makes me think of is, you know, those times when you just want to get things done real quick, or when you feel like you do not have time to get anything done. And so now I'm going in with our milk. This looks like breadcrumbs, I told you. See that? Actually, it's always better to put in the eggs first, yeah? So we'll start with this. The egg is in there. And now we are trying to make a dough. These are so tasty. And then half a cup of milk. You'll start by putting in just some because sometimes it can be too much. And we are almost done, by the way. And you see, I didn't actually use all the milk, yeah? And we have our dough. One of the tricks about being really good at baking is that when you make your dough, your bowl should be clean, yeah? If you want to know that you've done really well with your dough, your bowl should be, you know, almost have nothing in it. See that? It already looks so yummy. Look at that. And this usually makes about 12 rock buns, yeah? So we get to cut it up into about 12 pieces. I have my bin under here, so it's usually important to try and clean up your space as you go along. Now we're going to get our tray and put everything on the tray. And we are keeping that milk aside. We're not being wasteful. We're going to use it for something else. So it's now time for us to put this on a tray. Let me just wash my hands. Okay, so we're going to put this on the tray, and I'm going to get our tray because we have to prepare it. So it's important to clean up. I have my bin under here, so as I clean, I throw that away. Usually for this, I'll use a table knife. So we need 12 pieces out of this. I usually cut that up in the middle. And one of the most interesting things about this pastry that I love is that we don't have to roll it. So we don't need a rolling pin. We don't need anything like that. We're just going to cut it up and then press it and put it on the tray. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll figure out the rest. So yeah, we're about to put these on our tray. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. We have our tray right here. And when you're going to bake on a tray, you have to make sure that you put some either margarine or oil or whatever, so that whatever you're baking does not stick to it. And what I usually do, the trick I have for that is I usually use this, you know, the foil that covers the margarine? It usually has some margarine on it. So I use that, and sometimes the margarine is not enough. So I'll still use that and just get some more margarine onto it. Other days, I actually just use my fingers, which is okay, as long as you've washed your hands. So let's just prepare our tray. And one thing we should have done, which we can still do now because we are still working, is to switch on the oven. It's important that your oven is preheated, and it doesn't have to be for too long for this particular pastry. So I'm doing that. I've put it on the 2 lines, which are the baking for the heat up and down. And then we have this at about 180 degrees centigrade. I'm not sure how much that is in Fahrenheit, but Google is our friend. So let's do that. Yeah. What I love about rock buns is that there's those nights when you're just craving some comfort. And let me tell you something, comfort food is like my favorite thing, and pastries have a way of giving you that comfort food feeling. So the 2 favorite things of mine to bake at this time is the rock buns or chocolate chip cookies, which I haven't made in a while, but I think we'll be making those very soon here. So our tray is done, it's ready, okay? And now we are going to make sure that our 12 pieces of rock bun are also ready. You just press them together, really. They don't have to be organized any way you want, really. Yeah, so there we go. We're going to put 12 of these on here. Just to make sure that they're all balanced, we just have to throw that. We just have to, first of all, make sure that we have 12 pieces. So that's what I'm doing right now. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now this one is a bit small, so we'll get from these others which are bigger until we have a reasonable size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So we're good, and they don't have to be the same size. It's really exciting to make this with your kids, your nieces, nephews. Everyone will take part and be really excited about the final outcome. So let's do that. If you see that the size is too big, you can reduce it a bit. You can have as many as you want out of this dough, and you can multiply. You can also multiply the mixture by 2. to make more. Yeah. And we are ready to bake. Yeah. Don't they look cute? So we're going to put these in the oven. We'll just give the oven a few minutes to heat up, and then we're going to put them in there, okay? So we'll give that about, it depends on your oven, but usually it takes about anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes and they'll be ready. How exciting, right? That's how we make our rock buns. I just realized that I did not use the vanilla, but all these are optional, especially the spices. If you're a lover of vanilla, you can add vanilla. And usually I do 2 teaspoons and I put them in the milk before I mix, but that's optional. It's something you can do if you want to. Making these quick pastries makes me think about something. As a mom or a busy lady at home, there are those times when you want to spend time with God. I'm a Christian, by the way. There are those times when you want to spend time with God and you've woken up late or you're tired and you just have all these things to do on your list. And many times what happens with that is we go like, I'll do it later, or I've missed it today. But baking has brought me to a place where I realize that I can actually spend time with God as I do this. One time someone was speaking about, I think I saw it somewhere on TikTok. Someone was speaking about how the men in the Bible often went either up a mountain or to some place, like Moses went to the bush to pray and he found the burning bush. He also went up the mountain several times. Most times men, even Jesus himself, retreated to pray. And I think that's where we get it. But in most of these stories, you do not hear of women retreating to pray. It's really rare. And what I noticed is that most times these women were doing something and then Jesus came to them. Like the woman at the well, she had gone to fetch water and then Jesus came to her. I always think that Mary was at home. In most of the plays we watch, she's cleaning or, cooking or doing something. She was doing something at home and then the angel appeared to her. And so that has helped me realize that I don't have to necessarily always think that I must retreat to my room, I must retreat to this place to meet with Jesus, but he will come and be with me. And the best part is that he is always with me. He's in me, he's in you. And so as you do your baking and your cooking therapy, I just wanted to remind you that there is no moment that you will not be able to commune with God. Even if it's a crazy day, you're late, you're supposed to be making this quick pastry, you can use that time and spend it with God. And that is why I find baking and cooking so beautiful and therapeutic, because in those moments I get to speak to my Father and commune with him and tell him anything that is going on in my life. So just a quick reminder for you, okay? So let's wait for our pastry, and I think we're going to have it with some tea.
A few moments later.
And we're back. Like I said, different ovens, different settings, but with this oven, we did about 180 degrees centigrade, and I used the indication on the oven that has 2 lines, that is heat from up and down. And as I speak, the aroma here is amazing, and our rock buns are ready, so let's get them. Don't they look cute? Look at that. Exciting. They're still hot, so we have to be careful, and usually you want to just move them around to make sure that the butter or margarine that you used, did not stick. So they're moving, there's movement. You're wondering how I'm touching them. They're hot, but not that hot. So we're going to have this with a cup of tea. It's been exciting sharing with you how to make rock buns. I'm really, really happy. They turned out great and they look amazing. So please join my community where we will have more recipes and catch up as we have our cook and bake therapy. You can find me on all social media platforms as Karen Hasasha, whether that is Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. It's Karen Hasasha everywhere. Please follow. And for this particular platform, if you found me on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe, try the recipe, and comment and tell me if you loved it, okay? Let's just take one of these and break it to see what it's like inside. Oh, it's gorgeous. And let me take a bite and see what that's like. We're not supposed to talk as we eat, but it hits every single time. So from me, Karen, as I enjoy my rock bun here, it is Karen's Cook and Bake Therapy, or maybe soon Kiki's Cook and Bake Therapy. See you soon. Bless you. Mwah.